In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to connect Supabase to Python. We'll go through the full setup process from finding the right project details in Supabase to getting your Python app connected and ready for basic database operations. Start by opening Supabase and going into the project you want to use. This is important because each project has its own API settings, URL, and keys, so you want to make sure you're working in the correct one before copying anything. Once you're inside the project, open your project settings. This is where Supabase keeps the configuration details that your Python application will need in order to connect properly. From there, click into the API section. This area contains the core connection information for your project. Now copy the project URL listed under the project API URL. This is the endpoint your Python app will use to communicate with Supabase. After that, copy the anon public API key under project API keys. This key is commonly used for client-side or general access patterns. And for this walkthrough, it's the one you'll use for the connection. As always, store keys carefully and avoid hard-coding sensitive values directly into your project files when possible. Next, install the libraries you need in Python. Make sure the Supabase Python package is installed in your environment so your script can create and manage the connection. If you're working inside a virtual environment, it's a good idea to activate it first so your dependencies stay isolated and organized. After the library installation, configure your environment variables. This helps keep your project URL and API key separate from your code, which is a cleaner and safer way to manage credentials. Set one variable for the Supabase URL and another for the API key, then make sure your Python application is able to read them correctly. With that ready, initialize the client in Python. Import the required modules, load your environment variables, and create the Supabase client using the URL and key you saved earlier. This client is what your application will use to send requests to your Supabase project. Finally, test the connection with basic CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete. These are the core actions used in most database-driven applications. Try inserting a record, reading data from a table, updating an existing row, and then deleting a record. Doing this confirms that your connection is working end-to-end and that your Python app can successfully interact with Supabase. Once that works, you're officially connected and ready to build on top of it.